Ask not what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country. Hello, my name is John F. Kennedy. I was born in Massachusetts on May 29, 1917. I was very little for a baby. I had tiny arms and I was very weak. When I was 3, I almost died of an illness called scarlet fever. When I was older, I loved to spend time with my family. My family was very strict about dinner. If you didn't come at the right time, you couldn't eat dinner. My parents wanted me to be neat and clean, but I was dirty and messy, with little tiny specks of dirt on my forehead. Since I had so many brothers and sisters in my childhood, that made my family full of fun. My college was Harvard University. I wanted to study history and politics. In September 22, 1953, I married a young newspaper photographer. Her name was Jacqueline. I had 2 children. My daughter was Caroline. She was just 3 years old before I became president. Our son was John Jr. He was only 2 months old when I became president. I am very famous because I was the 35th president of the United States. I am also famous because I was a war hero for the Navy. Joe Sr., my dad, convinced me that it was my job to go into politics. My father told me he wanted me to run for president someday. In 1946, I ran for the United States House of Representatives from my home state of Massachusetts. My awesome brothers and sisters knocked on doors asking for people to vote. I won the election in November. In Washington, I was a 29-year-old congressman, and I stood out as a young, handsome politician. But as always, I had bad health. Doctors decided I had Addison's disease, an illness that destroys part of your adrenal glands. In 1954, I had to have a serious back operation. During the months I spent in the hospital recovering, I wrote a book about profiles in courage. It tells about the bravery of a few politicians who fought for their ideals to make the United States a better place in which to live. I later won a Pulitzer Prize for the book Profiles in Courage. In July 1960, I won the Democratic Party's nomination for race for president. My running mate, Lyndon Baines Johnson, and I defeated Richard Nixon to become president. It was very close, but I won. I worked very hard when I was president. A national tragedy happened on November 22, 1963. I was riding in a black convertible in a Dallas, Texas parade. Suddenly, I was shot twice by Lee Harvey Oswald. They tried to save me, but they couldn't. I died at the age of 46. Important facts about my life. I was the 35th president of the United States. I became a hero for the U.S. Navy. I was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. I fought for civil rights.